Welcome to the Maine-J Show. It's your boy Maine-J, and this is another episode of Maine-Chat. Thank you all for tuning in. Hey. Y'all should already know what to do right by now. Please like, subscribe, share, hit me up, comment, whatever you got to do to promote and share. Show the love. I appreciate it. All right. So today I wasn't going to do this, but since many of y'all was commenting on all my SWV videos, Coco videos, different things like that, and asked me did I watch the verses and what I think, and I said, all right, I give in. I give up, and I'm going to do one. So here we go. So before I get this started, make a disclaimer right now. Everybody knows that I am a huge fan of Coco. All day, every day, baby. From the beginning up until now, since I was a boy to a grown man, been a big, huge fan of hers in SWV. So I'm going to try my best not to be biased towards Xscape, not to be biased for SWV, because they're both legendary groups, both contributed to the R&B music world. They both groups have a legacy and have done their thing and made their mark and influenced a whole bunch of artists today. With that being said, let's just kick it like I did that one. All right, so here we go. I thoroughly enjoyed the verses. I didn't view it as a competition. I viewed it as a celebration. I viewed it as, just a good time, chilling with your peoples, just listening to music and listening to hits and nostalgia of my childhood. It wasn't a battle. It was just two groups coming together to give us something legendary, give us a moment, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So let's talk about the beginning. I always forgot, they don't always start on time. This one started on time, but as far as like the main event, didn't start for a little bit later. But let's talk about the DJs. The DJs had us rocking, had us pumping, had us jumping. I wasn't too familiar with the DJ of Xscape, but definitely was familiar with DJ Spinderella, which was great to see because we already have two great groups, Xscape and SWV, and then we have a third of Salt and Pepper. I don't care what Salt and Pepper say, we have a third of Salt and Pepper, DJ Spinderella. So another woman from a legendary group. So it was good to see girl power, and it was good because that SWV and Salt and Pepper did a reality show together. So it was just good to see SWV reach out to DJ Spin and say, hey, we want you to be part of this major history-making event. So it was good to see the DJs rocking. They weren't boring. They weren't keeping us like, okay, already. Of course, we were still waiting for them to come out, but it helped to have great DJs, and they kept us entertained. So there was a great opening act. Now, speaking of opening, the DJs announced both groups. And when I tell you, Xscape came in, slayed, ready for war, ready to rumble, okay? And not only that, but they opened up with another legendary group. Both groups did, but they opened up with live vocals of Is My Living in Vain, paying tribute to that legendary group, the Clark Sisters, and other female groups. So we got Xscape, we got SWV, then we got DJ Spin from Salt and Pepper, and now we're starting off with the Clark Sisters classic Is My Living in Vain, and then they sang and they started us off banging, looks, hair, music, vocals. Gets no better than that. And then also SWV, legendary group, started off from Coco's solo album Endow Me, which featured Fantasia, Little Mo, and Faith Evans, also paying homage to the Clark Sisters. So the Clark Sisters have definitely left their print on not just the gospel industry, but the whole music world, period. And it shows and it's evident with these two legendary R&B groups, Xscape and SWV. So we get in, they relaxing, they chilling. Xscape was a little bit more, uppity up and live and ready. SWV still kind of warming up. Yeah, Taj was talking Lily, but Coco seemed kind of reserved. But at first, until you know, during the whole time, Black Twitter and all the people in the comments was coming for Coco, like, she ain't talking, she ain't doing this, she ain't singing, she just there trying to be cute, da 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 da. But if you really follow Coco on the reality shows, and you follow, Coco's in her bubble. Yes, she knows that she's an entertainer. Yes, she knows that interviews and different things come with the territory, and she knew what this event was. But she was really extra reserved, and I was like, okay, Coco, you know, I love you, I rock for you. You know, I rock with you, you know, I know that, but come on, this is not like some interview that you don't want to be on. This is not, you know, some strangers. These are your sisters, of course, SWV, Sister Voices, but then these are also your friends. You know, SWV has always made it known when it comes to rivalries, they always say, was there any rivalry groups? There were never any rivalry groups. And they said, well, which groups were you closest with? They always said Xscape, Xscape, Xscape. They're, you know, they always been friends. They've been on the road together in the beginning. They, you know, recently before, you know, COVID-19, they was on the road together, you know, with BBD and 702 and different other acts coming together, Xscape and Xscape 3. So, you know, why you know, kind of a little reserved. These are your friends. These are people who you've known for years and rock with, you know. So it was a little odd, and like I said, people were coming for Coco, and at first I'm like, do y'all even watch the verses? Because obviously the beginning of the verses, certain people were rappers or were DJs or were producers, so of course they're not going to be up there singing and doing all this other stuff. And then people were at home, so I get it. Brandy and Monica started singing a little bit. Gladys and Patty was singing a little bit on theirs, and I believe the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire was also singing. So it started turning into that. But even if SWV and Xscape really didn't sing, I would have been okay with that, because leading up until like the last 4 or 5 verses, there weren't really a lot of performances of vocals, you know. And the time that Teddy Riley did it was an epic feel. So, you know, I was like, y'all back up off Coco. And it was funny because a lot of people was calling me like, Jermaine, you good? She ain't singing. Is she okay? Are you okay? Are you not going to be a fan of? I'm like, listen, y'all, stop calling me because I'm trying to watch my boo. And I'm not turning against Coco because Coco is not singing. So let's just stop that. But, you know, it's just is what it was. And, you know, so they kept going back and forth singing each other's songs. You know, then Xscape had a fan choice favorite, and Jermaine Dupri came out and they talked about that. And then, you know, eventually with the Patti LaBelle song and the right, you know, Coco got up to sing their fan favorite right here, and she started warming up a little bit. And, you know, people make comments like, you know, maybe she need to sip some of that Ciroc or something like that, or, you know, to loosen up real quick. So everybody was joking like that. But then she sung right here, and everybody said, okay, Coco's singing now. She's giving us what we want. She's getting warmed up. She's about to blow. Sorry, because out of all the singers up there, Coco's the best singer on stage, with Tamika Scott being a strong contender and you know, second. But once she got the Patti LaBelle, If Only You Knew, she kicked off them shoes, and you see the picture right here. In the memes, it says Coco had to do what needed to be done. So I was rolling on that, and then she was letting us have it. So, you know, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I also liked how you know, the first half and even some of the second half, but we'll really get to the second half, they started doing some of their solo stuff. Like at first I was like, this is gonna be the Candy show tonight, because she's like, I wrote this song, and she did No Bills and No Scrubs, and she did the song with E40, and, you know, and even with the recent shade with Wanye, you know, she had to say, we're doing the verses, and I wrote this, and I contributed this. So I get it. You had to make a point to Wanye if he was watching it. But I wish with Xscape, they would have allowed more of Latasha's songs, or even Tamika Scott songs, or even Tiny songs. They did give her Thug Holiday, which was cool. I'm glad that she was able to sneak that in there. But one of Latasha Scott's songs that I thoroughly enjoyed was with Jay Shin. Her first time she went solo, to my knowledge, as a little kid. So you're having my baby. Hey, well, I don't know if it's mine. It all started from a one-night stand. It wasn't part of the plan. Now you say you got an attitude, and you're so confused. You didn't tell me about your mic at home. So what you gonna do? You know, that should have been on the list. But even with Tamika Scott, you know, that would have been nice, because she had some nice songs out. Greatest Gift, Incredible You Are. did a song with her sister, and Avant. I forgot the name of the song off the top of my head, but I listen to it sometimes. Her and Tamika had a song also. The Scott Sisters had a song called Here We Go. Nice. So they could have just promoted a lot of their solo stuff as well. You know, it just would have been nice to see that. And then Latasha Scott had a song, Bad Timing and Show Off, that were great songs. You know how today's age, a lot of the 90s artists, they could put out music, but it's not as big as it was back then because promotion and just what people consume, what they listen to. But they had a few songs that y'all should go out and just check out. Real nice stuff. Switch over to SWV. You know, I was glad to see that Coco did Here Comes the Man in Black. That was honestly her biggest song as a solo artist. Will Smith, but you know, back then she wasn't in the video, so a lot of people may not have known that that was Coco from SWV, but she let y'all know, and it was good. Oh, that was you, Coco? Oh, let's go listen to it now and stream it. And then she also did a song with her son Jalen. Jalen is a singer. Y'all need to follow him on Instagram and on Facebook and on Snap and stuff, because Jalen is a force to be reckoned with. But of course, look at who his mother is, legendary Coco, and look at who his grandmother is. You know, Tippa Gamble, who's also been in the music industry for some years, and his brother, Little Tracy, you know, Coco's other son, you know, and you know, it's just a music family. So it was good to see her do her solo stuff, Sunshine. It was also good to see, like, once again, Lily and Taj doing some leads from their albums that were great, just weren't promoted well. And then Xscape 3 should have did, you know, one of their songs too. Just so I think it could have been more of that than just Candy getting the solo show and the writing show. And it's like, come on now. Come on, Candy. We understand you're competitive, and we understand you want to let people know, and we understand that sometimes it's Candy's way or no way, but it wasn't about that. So that was the only issue that I think that I had in regards to that. So Intermission happened. It was cool. But when I tell you that SWV did that wardrobe change, y'all see that meme about the girdles? SWV took their girdles off and changed their shoes. They came back and they didn't come back to play. And when I tell you now, Coco's in her element, she's comfortable, she's singing, she's hitting the notes. They're not even singing to the with the voices on the track. They're actually they just have the performance tracks, and they're actually singing and giving us vocals. And then Xscape is singing and then doing the vocals, and it's no singing along, and it's just they're showing these new kids on the block, you know, how you do a show, how you sing, how you leave a legacy, how you influence other people. Because when I tell you I was jamming songs with song, never should have kissed you. And then when we got to Do You Want To? And they try to cut off the song, and the whole crowd was like, nah, play it back, play it back, play it back, play it back. And Taj, you know, was trying to go to Rain, and the crowd was like, nah. And when I tell you, Tiny got into it like never before. And then that Latasha Scott, we know Latasha Scott, you know, she's gonna run. She's gonna let you know she can run. She's gonna be loud enough on the mic so that you can hear her. But when she came in into that perfect angle with the wind blowing, and she said, should have seen it coming, much too deep. And then she got down on the ground and she was talking to her husband and saying, where's my husband at, Rocky? Rocky. I thought she was talking about the movie real quick, no, sir. But you know, it was just, and then Coco came with Rain, and then they came with something, and they came with something, and it was just great singing, a great time. I felt like I was at a concert. I didn't want to compete and compare who was better and who did what and who sang what and who didn't and what songs weren't sang and what songs were. I just thoroughly enjoyed that second half. They gave us a great time. I felt like I was kicking it with my friends, my homegirls, my aunties, you know, and I got to enjoy great vocals and a great vibe. I'm glad Coco loosened up. I'm glad she was able to get over what it is that she saw. She ended up tweeting, you know, what she experienced before she got there. And, you know, I don't want to go preach on you, but sometimes you just don't know what people's going through just to make it to an event, make it to a function, just to be able to minister to you, sing to you, perform to you, work for you, serve you your coffee in the morning. And first thing we say is they got an attitude. If they didn't want to come to work, they shouldn't have came. No, you don't know what they went through to get there. It's like sometimes people don't know what you went through to get to where you're at, and you may be a little standoffish. So I'm grateful that she was able to explain it. But I was used to it anyway because I see how Coco is on the shows and interviews, and I've seen SWV live, I want to say like 3 times now. So but overall, what did y'all think? If I had to give an assessment on this versus, Slay wise, I have to give it to Xscape because they came ready, they opened up like singing, banging. Performance wise, SWV was never really performers. They just gave you vocals. They do a little choreography here and there, but Coco's gonna let you have it. Taj and Lely's gonna rap and gonna do a little something and let you have it. But performance wise, Xscape came like, you in my hometown, you're in my home city. Participation wise, they just from the get-go. Overall for the verses, I would say Xscape, and it hurts me. I'm like clenching through my teeth because everybody knows I'm Coco all day. Now when it came to the singing and they didn't, Coco, SWV ended that show. I understand it had to come, but they gave the benediction, they gave the altar call. Once they started with anything and, you know, Rain and Use Your Heart, and, you know, they started doing all those songs, it was a wrap. So I would have to say second half, it was a fair tie, but overall I have to give it to Xscape. But who has the better catalog? Even Tiny said it. Y'all got the upbeat and y'all have the jams. And then Candy was like, we got jams. You know what I mean, but they got them jams. SWV had the boppers and the ballads. So overall, music won. The legends won. This moment where, you know, at one point we didn't even think that Candy was coming back with Xscape. Gratefully that situation happened where they got together. We've been wanting it. They gave us a tour. They're getting ready to go on another tour, prayerfully. And I think my only critique is a couple of things with this versus. Brian Alexander Morgan should have been there. I don't know where you were, Brian, but you should have been there. They shouted him out, but Brian should have been there. Jermaine Dupri was there. I feel like Brian should have been there because Brian is behind their triple platinum first album. Their smash hit Rain from the third album, he wrote it. You know, so Brian should have been there to do that. That would have been dope. Also, what I want to see from this is I want to see a SWV Xscape collaboration. Be dope. Candy and Tiny, y'all do the backgrounds. Taj and Lily, you do the backgrounds. Candy, your penmanship, write the song. Maybe let Jermaine Dupri produce it. Give you something, a 2021 type feel of a song. And let Coco, Tamika Scott, and Latasha Scott sing it. Or I want a Coco and a Scott sister song together. Something like that. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. The only thing I would critique, I would give Brian Alexander Morgan. You've been promising us some music, unreleased songs. You've been playing What Two Can Do and the other song, Unconditional, whatever it is. And this would have been the perfect time to get the streams up, to get the plays up, to get up the charts. And you failed us. This would have been the perfect time. You had the momentum to say, hey, you guys, speaking of that, go on iTunes, Spotify. We just dropped 2 new singles. Thank you, Brian Alexander Morgan. Again, come on. That's it. So that's my assessment. I'm grateful to be a part of it. Grateful for my childhood. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I had no business listening to those. We had no business listening to those songs. You're My Little Secret. We had no business singing that. We had no business singing Downtown. We had no business singing You're the One for Me. We had no business singing Work Me Slowly, but that was the music. And what I like about those songs too, I know I said I was done. I was a true preacher, you know. I'm almost done. I got one more door to close. But all the celebrities that were on there were saying the same thing. This is music. This is timeless. And it's just music that you really can feel. I love new school music. I listen to a lot of the new artists, and I still do this, you know, and I chill. But the music that they played back then, you can play at the wedding. You can you know, with the family and all the church people, even though they may be like, what is this? It wasn't too offensive to where you had to, you know, play clean versions. Like a lot of that R&B stuff, you can still play. A lot of that hip hop, you can still play. And if you notice, like sometimes with the R&B songs, even back in the day, you didn't know whether you was in church or was you listening to R&B music because, like, you know, I get so weak in the knees. You can just, who can I run to? Do you want what I need? It's just all rain down on me. It's just like that feel good. You almost want to worship and lift your hands and all that type of stuff. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Who do y'all have? Did you have Xscape? Did you have SWV? Did you just enjoy it for the sake of nostalgia, your childhood? Did you have one over another? Once again, can you choose layers of it? I enjoyed Xscape's this. I enjoyed this about SWV, but overall, last but not least, when we comparing and contrasting and trying to put the girl groups against each other, when they closed out that thing, they said this was nothing but love. We are friends in real life. And they shut it down. So whatever y'all got to say is whatever y'all got to say. But just know when we leave here, it ain't no beef. It ain't no nothing. We are friends in real life. Thank you all for watching today's episode of me doing my assessment of the verses. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Thank you. Till the next time. Peace.